In one of my last videos, I posed the question of whether or not all the compensation we were getting from Kuro Games was a long-term investment or a desperate attempt to retain players. All of the rewards that we were getting, and will be getting in the future, is quite the generous amount. I haven't pulled on any of the character banners or spent any money on the game yet, but I already have almost 50 event convenes and almost over 100 event convenes in Asterites. We're getting an extra 1 million shell credit in the mail, and we're also getting the Yinlin update and story quest early. This doesn't exactly pose as a good sign to me, at least not anymore. See, before I just saw this as them being overly courteous. After all, they have no reason to give us as much as they did, regardless of how bad or rough their beginning may have been. And don't get me wrong, as a consumer, I'm loving all this free shit, but it makes me worry about the longevity of the game in general. I believe that if they were to have simply expressed how they were going to fix the game and then fixed the game, as they've already been doing, with rewards not quite as generous as the ones we got, the people wouldn't have responded in an uproar regardless. But it feels like Kuro Games is trying too hard to scramble for the community's approval, especially after that legal incident involving Japanese player emails. But that's a deserved compensation in my opinion. But then again, considering their competition, it would only make sense they would go down this seemingly overly charitable path. Their sales numbers were as much as I predicted. Having a mail opening event banner for a gacha game can hurt it. I mean, I think that it's cool as fuck that they decided to open things up with a really cool, well-made, and amazing male character like Jian. But we all know with these sorts of games, usually it's the female characters that make the most money. I predict that we're going to see almost double the sales numbers for Yinlin's banner in comparison to Jian's banner. I believe that not only do they feel pressured by the various things being released for other gachas, but I also believe that they aren't making the money they need in order to keep things afloat for the most part. They need Yinlin to fix the damages that may have potentially been done behind the scenes. And after all, Yinlin is the 5-star that has been advertised the absolute most out of all of the characters that we've seen. So of course players are going to end up spending even more for a character that they've been waiting for to begin with. A character that they've been expecting to come out first, not expecting Jian to come out first. I've also been hearing so many bad issues and rumors behind the scenes for the company that I don't even know is fully true, so therefore I won't mention it here in case it's simply just misinformation. I know that Kuro Games is trying very hard to succeed in a market that is completely saturated in Hoyoverse's presence, with their game constantly either being attacked or compared in a non-constructive way to Genshin Impact. It's trying to do things different enough to bring more players in. They're trying to show players that they are far more generous than most companies that make gachas. And sometimes it feels like Wuthering Waves is simply trying its best to survive. I've seen things about how Wuthering Waves is #1 in a variety of regions. I think it was over 100 regions or something like that. But feats like that can be gone in a flash, and I don't want this to come across as a doom post or me trying to purposely tear down the game because for people who have joined my stream and for people who see my past videos and actually listened in, you know that I look forward to playing Wuthering Waves often. I want it to succeed. I want Kuro Games to show off the amazing character visuals they did in PGR. I want to see all of that in Wuthering Waves. Hell, I plan on wailing hard as all shit when they finally release Alpha's banner in Wuthering Waves. And I just want you guys to know, this channel's gonna go back to an Alpha gooning channel as soon as she gets revealed. All this mature video shit that I've been doing, that shit finna go out the window, because y'all motherfuckers are gonna hear me come back as the old Rigashu that a lot of you subscribe to see, act the fool on here, and I swear to God, I'ma find a way to completely stick my head right up her ass. Wuthering Waves has all the parts it needs in order for it to be a long-term, years-dominant gacha game. Its boss fights have the potential to be mechanically better than what we have now. It has all the potential to release more amazing game modes that work around their strong suits. It has all the potential to have its story be just as good as the latter half of the PGR story. We've all went past the beginning introductory part for the most part. We can be done with that. I want to see some genuine plot that can hook the majority of players in. I hope that the extensions of the maps through regions have more engaging puzzles and interesting special enemies and secret bosses. I just hope that Kuro Games' generosity or damage control, however it is you want to put it, doesn't hurt it so much financially that they are completely unable to deliver us the peak that we deserve from such a company. I've made the argument before that they are making a game outside their niche. This isn't visual novel storytelling, this isn't just simply instance-based combat, this isn't just simply interact with the game through a menu only. This is a game that has the potential to become an even more massive open world story with characters visually interacting with each other that aren't just 2D, combat that can take a variety of different forms depending on what part of the map you're on, instead of only preparing for one instance of it. But I can't keep defending them when things like this pop up. I want them to do better, and I want them to be responsible for what they think they genuinely decide to give us. Because if they continue to give us things like this over and over, back to back, constantly, I'm gonna be asking, when is this gonna end? There's not gonna be any reason to want to spend money unless the one theory I have, the one hope that I have, that the people that play the game would want to spend an egregious amount of money to give back to Kuro Games' generosity. It all just seems like they're investing a little more than what they're actually gonna get out of it in the future. Anyways, what do you think? Do you genuinely believe that Kuro Games is making the right decision in doing what they've been pulling recently? Or does it maybe concern you with the way things are going, and that if they continue to go down this overly generous path, people are going to believe that the company is either so irresponsible and constantly feel the need to reward us for their mistakes that they're not gonna want to play the game anymore? Or do you perhaps share the same opinion as me, whereas you feel a little concerned, but don't think this will kill the game in the long run? But anyways, as always, I want you all to take care, and peace be.